How's it going, guys? William here with you. First episode of my podcast, First Floor, with my boys.
Yay, yay.
I got Devin to my right, Adryan to my left.
The twin brothers, the dynamic duo.
T-shirt twins.
T-shirt twins.
Thanks for being on, guys. I appreciate it. It's dope.
Sunday night, this last thing we're doing before the week starts. So
Banging it out.
Let's bang it out.
So introduce yourself. What you guys' names and what you guys do and all that stuff.
Totally. So my name is Devin. I'm one half of the dynamic duo, and I own Garment Decor with my twin brother, Adryan.
This is Adryan. Devin's my brother. You just heard him speak. Together, we operate a screen printing and embroidery business here in the city of Chino. And we have Will talking with us today.
So these are your guys' first podcast ever?
First podcast.
First podcast. It's pretty exciting.
This is my first kind of interview style stuff. And for everyone listening, these guys are identical twins.
Yeah, mirror image, 1 minute apart.
Literally.
Yeah, we're going to look at the camera now, and it's up to you to see who's older.
Yeah.
The number one question asked to us, who's older?
We'll get into that. Who is older?
I'm 1 minute older.
1 minute older. Okay. So let's take us back. Let's get to young twins. What you guys were into, stuff like that. Where are you from?
Nice. So I'm born and raised in Pomona, California, in a small subsection called Phillips Ranch.
P-Town.
P-Town, yep. And I grew up there for the first 20 years of my life before, up until recently, we moved to Chino. Adryan, take it from there.
So born and raised?
Born and raised in Pomona.
Okay.
Born and raised. We lived our entire life there. That's where we spent our youth, up until our teens, up until the 20s. Okay. Pomona, California.
Yeah, for you
91766.
There it is. For you guys don't know, that's LA County, hour out from LA. So what were you guys into as youngsters?
So we played a lot of sports and played a lot of video games. Primarily, we played soccer, hockey. What else we played?
We played tennis.
Doubles.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Do you guys play doubles?
Doubles and tennis.
Yeah. Yep.
Who was the better one, real quick?
I would say we shared.
I think we
complimented each other.
Complimented
He was the yang to my yin.
Okay.
No, but
nice.
I played in the front. Adryan played in the back. So
it kind of just everyone had a job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we performed our jobs well.
Yeah. You said video games. How was that? What
Great.
you guys into?
So as a youth, maybe around 8 years old, we started playing Counter-Strike.
Okay.
And then we started World of Warcraft afterwards.
We were avid gamers all day, all night.
Heavy, huh?
We played so much that our mom had to put she hired someone to put a lock on our computer from like 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. just because we were so addicted after
What games did you say you were playing?
Counter-Strike and World of Warcraft.
Who were you guys playing these with? You guys had siblings or anything? Older siblings or younger siblings?
We had an older brother, but my brother was 3 years older than us, and he didn't share the same interests.
No, he wasn't feeling
So we played a lot of video games with the kids in our neighborhood. We lived in a cul-de-sac, so each house in our cul-de-sac were boys, and every single day, if we weren't playing video games, we were out playing laser tag, flashlight tag.
So you guys had
basketball.
A squad.
Yeah.
Do
you guys call yourself something?
Cul-de-sac crew.
Oh.
CC.
Okay, that's tight. What school did you guys go to? Elementary or kind of into that stuff?
So our elementary school was about like a 2-minute walk from where we lived.
Super close.
So that was like a walk to freedom. But we went to elementary school in Ranch Hills. Middle school was Lower Bear. And then high school was Diamond Ranch, California.
Do you guys just have like a normal elementary school life? Or
I would say it's pretty standard, in my opinion.
In high school, though, I felt like I lived a double life.
Yeah,
so like during the day,
What high school did you go to, real quick?
Diamond Ranch.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went to Diamond Ranch, and I felt like me and my brother, we always lived this double life.
How so?
So at nighttime when we left school, it was all about a gamer life.
Yeah.
And then like during school, it was more like the sports life, So
no school though, huh?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't talk about the gaming life at school. You always kept it separate.
Was it not cool, or what was the reason?
You kept that with a different set of friends.
Yeah, it was a different set of friends.
Dude, it's crazy that now the gaming world is like blowing up. Everyone's fucking.
Yeah, now they're live streaming it.
Yeah.
Back then you didn't live stream that type of stuff. You kept it. Kept it hidden.
Yeah, literally. Back then, I remember it was those cafes and all that craziness of the cafes. You walk in,
Gamers X.
100 computers deep.
So we used to go to that. I think before we had a computer, we would Friday nights, Saturday nights, we
that's
would
when
get a
poppin',
bunch
huh?
of people and we would go down to the LAN cafe and play a bunch of video games all night.
Is that what they're called, LAN cafes?
LAN cafes, yep.
So we like to say during like those gamer days, that's when it taught us that's when it taught us to really focus and grind hard on a particular thing. Because in World of Warcraft, you spent your entire life building up one character.
You were only as good as the time you put in. So the more
that kind of goes with anything too.
Yeah, for sure.
Literally.
So the more time you put into your character, the results showed, and so I think that was one of the like.
How much time did you record on one of your characters?
So when you typed in, there was a command when you were playing the game. If you typed in /played, it would show you how many hours you've accumulated on that character. And I think by the time I stopped playing, I was at about 300 days played.
So almost a year.
Almost a year.
Jesus Christ! How long did it take you to get there?
About 5 years, I would say.
5 years of work.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
You said you mentioned high school. Let's get into high school. What were you guys into in high school other than like the games and anything? Did you guys play sports? Did you guys?
So I would say freshman year was pretty normal for us. Sophomore year, we were introduced to a foreign substance called alcohol. So at sophomore year, we started spending some time partying. Junior year, senior year, continue that tradition. And I would say senior year was kind of what was pivotal as far as maturing from school up until like. When you look back in hindsight, it's senior year was the start of our professional career.
So when you tied it all up?
That's when we started kind of developing our skills in the graphic design. We took a class that taught us Photoshop, and so you want to explain a little bit further from there what you did?
And aside from the sports and maybe like the partying, like my brother said, we had a class called a graphic design class where our teacher introduced us to Photoshop, and he himself was also a screen printer.
So he known.
So in the first part of the year, he was teaching us Photoshop, but he started introducing the concept of screen printing. And at the time, I didn't know what screen printing was, but he used to tell us the class how he used to be a screen printer and he would make T-shirts. And one of the reasons why he became a graphic designer was because he could design on Photoshop and then take it and make T-shirts with it.
Just synced in together.
Absolutely.
What real quick, what year did you guys end up graduating?
2010.
2010.
Class of 2010.
Yeah, class of 10. Woo woo.
Yep.
What was our high school saying?
It was we are no, that wasn't it. That was
all right.
Whatever. Yeah. Did you guys have any jobs or anything like that during high school?
I took on one job at Burger King.
How was that?
To me, I had a best friend who worked with me at the time, and so because I worked alongside him, we had some great memories inside Burger King. But my brother never had a job outside of what we do now, and I've only had one, which is Burger King.
And so I got a quick story. So my brother, this was I think senior year, my brother gets a job at Burger King. So it was Adryan decided he wanted to get a job so he can start making money and start doing whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah. It's good to have a job in high school.
But Adryan said, Devyn, I'll only keep working if you play my character while I'm at work. So while he went to work, I also had to work on playing his character.
Did he pay you?
He didn't pay me, but I think like that was my way of him not complaining that I didn't have a job. So I would work on his character while he went to Burger King to
Did
get
mom or
that
dad
money.
complain about you not having a job?
I think it was.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't even know why I got that job.
You just like, I'm gonna get a job.
My best friend had it at the time, and it seemed
cool.
It sounded like a good idea.
How did you guys get into the screen printing world that you guys are currently in? When did that all start?
So it started with the senior project. It was a fashion merchandising class, and we had to create a clothing store for our final project of the year before we graduate. And so I partnered up with a couple of my friends, and we decided on the name of Closet Collection.
Okay.
And that Closet Collection name really stuck out to me because not only was it a great idea for project, but I also thought it would be a great idea to start a business named Closet Collection.
It keeps the CC going.
And it keeps the CC going, yeah, exactly.
That was one of the proudest things about that name.
CC,
you
got to throw it up.
Yeah. Because around school, we would always throw up CC for cul-de-sac crew.
Yeah.
So every time we went to a party or every time we went to go do something, it was always CC for cul-de-sac crew.
So you had to keep it going.
So when we thought of the name Plaza Collection and how it still had that CC name, not only was it cool for us because we can still throw up that CC, but also because the name was great.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you something real quick.
Yeah, drop
Look
it.
at Devin's T-shirt. That logo that
it's got a CC for you guys watching and not listening.
Yeah.
He's got a CC crown on his shirt right now.
That's funny. What, after 8 years, you're
Still there.
Still
Still living.
Yeah, like a soccer T-shirt.
Soccer
so you got your
style.
sponsors on
Yeah,
the top.
yeah, you
so
put that.
That's like a sponsorship.
easy for them.
Did you say that was a group project?
A group project?
Okay.
Correct.
It's crazy because I've listened to a bunch of podcasts and seen videos, and a lot of the same stories. Like dudes in high school come up with some game plan, or they have a project or whatever at college, and they end up going through with it.
Yeah, but I got another story though.
Yeah,
so I
drop
think,
some stories
So
on
I
us,
think
bro. We got time.
We got time today.
So Closet Collection was a high school project, but I think where the real hustle ambition came from, or where that first seed, when I look back, where that first seed was planted was when so we had a best friend named Cesar Martinez in high school.
Shout out Caesar.
And what me, Adrian, and Caesar would do is we would sell candy at school. So what we would do is we would go to the local supermarket and buy gummy worms in bulk.
Hustling, I like that.
You know,
I like that,
so we bought we bought a 5-10 pounds worth of gummy worms,
Yeah.
and then we would repackage them up. If I recall correctly, we would put 10 gummy worms in a small plastic bag and sell it for $1.
Hustling, dude. That's dope.
And so I remember one Sunday we bought.
I'm a hustler, baby.
No, so I remember one Sunday we bought a bunch of bought maybe 10 pounds worth of gummy worms, packaged it up, and then I stuffed my backpack full of gummy worms. Adrian stuffed his backpack full of gummy worms, and he stuffed the backpack full of gummy worms. And I just remember after first period ended, hey Caesar, how many gummy worms did you sell? Dude, I just sold 30 packs.
And so during class?
During class, in between,
walking to classes.
and
You guys are the candy twins, huh?
yeah, for sure.
Hey, keeping the C going, the candy. Did you guys get busted for that?
We got busted maybe about after 2 months of selling candy.
Yeah.
It started becoming too much of a thing where
This is obvious, huh?
it was obvious, you know, selling candy in class, or the first 5 minutes, people were making a line to come and buy candy.
You guys sitting in the corner, you guys just gathering.
And we
people.
also had it's funny that you look back at it. We also have, at the time we didn't look at it like this, but we also had brokers. So since we had maybe 200 bags of gummy worms in our backpacks, we would have people come to us and say, hey, let me get 20. I want to start selling them too.
That was
so
when you were becoming that CEO life.
So we would give this guy 20 bags, and he would then go and sell to his friends.
Bring it back the money.
Bring us back the money.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Give him $20
man.
or whatever. That's dope. What grade did you say? Junior, sophomore?
That was senior year.
Senior.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, was that? Well, it was in the
could've
high
been
school,
junior,
high
senior,
school
yeah,
time frame,
yeah,
high school
yeah.
time frame. But by the end of that period,
Yeah.
one of our best weeks, we had walked away with $300 cash.
Profit?
And that $300 cash profit.
Oh,
so Devin
shit.
got 100, I got 100, and my best friend Caesar got 100.
Yeah, $100.
At that time, just doing you at school to
That's
make
dope.
that.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that was
That's great.
big coins.
Yeah, literally. So get back into your project. How did that end up going for you? Like, what grade did you end up getting? Like,
Yeah, so
what'd you learn from it?
So for me, it was less about the project and more about the idea. So the grade I got on it, I can't even remember. And I don't think we as a group took it too serious.
Yeah.
But I remember, so we had the name Closet Collection, and I remember just during that project talking with Adrian and just being like, man, that's a great name. That's a great name. But I never thought that I would do anything with it. But I just knew that was a great name, and it was a way for us to continue to throw up CC.
And with that being the senior year project, what was it? Almost 2 months after you finished that project, school was ending.
Yeah,
No,
so
I think it was the senior. It was maybe there was 3 weeks left of class, and so school ended. And within a day of school ending, me and Adrian had talked, and we had came up with this idea of, hey, let's start selling T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's buy T-shirts from LA and resell them online. Okay. And that idea formed through this project, and we decided that was a good idea, and let's name our business Closet Collection.
And I would say alongside that though, the reason why we pursued an interest in T-shirts at that time is because our mother, she never pushed college down our throat.
That's the next question, but yeah, hit that. Keep going. Let's go.
And I would say, I can remember junior year, senior year when everyone else is filling out applications for loan grants and all that good stuff. We never took and I don't ever recall filling out an application for that, just because if it wasn't for this senior year project or this T-shirt idea, we'd probably be off in the real estate industry.
Oh, yeah. Is that what your mother does, you said?
Yeah, that she's in that field, and so we were almost going to follow in her footsteps, and
it wouldn't have been a bad industry either.
It wouldn't have been a bad industry, and who knows what could have been in that industry. But that's kind of why right after high school we had our eyes set on T-shirt. So this T-shirt clothing store
started from the project.
Yeah.
So that hustler hustler DNA, whatever you want to call it, got built in you guys pretty much from the beginning, right? Without like you guys really knowing.
Yeah, for sure.
Your mother, all that stuff influenced all that in you.
Absolutely.
That's dope. So then after the project, you guys graduate high school. Then you guys start your business. What's the next step in your business? You guys have an idea, which is cool,
So
but now how do you execute the idea?
So right after high school ended, we hit LA and we hit the fashion district to kind of learn more about wholesale clothing, what different types of clothing brands are out there that we could buy from, so on and so forth. And it was our original intention to start up an online superstore where we can buy T-shirts from these different streetwear brands and then sell them online.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, at that time, and it probably still exists today, that when you start up a streetwear store, when you want to buy from these clothing brands, they're gonna ask to see pictures of your clothing store.
Especially at the time, they want to get into some big stores.
Yeah, these clothing brands. What we learned back then is they're particular in who they sell to, and so they're not going to just sell to a random swap meet or whatever
Online,
the case is.
Especially at that time,
they didn't want to sell to resellers who are reselling on eBay, so on and so forth.
2010, you're talking 8 years ago. The internet wasn't what it is today, even though it was big, but everything is internet now.
Oh, for sure.
So maybe at that time,
Karma Loop was huge back then.
Yeah, but maybe those stores were like, you know what? We have Karma Loop. We have that. We don't need another.
I would say that was the case.
We don't need another online outlet.
Yeah,
other than maybe their own online business.
Yeah, I would say 100%. That was the case back then.
Yeah. So just to recap, we had this idea of starting an online superstore, but then we found out that these clothing brands didn't want to sell to us because we didn't have a store.
Yeah.
So at the time, the next step for us was if they don't want to sell to us because we don't have a store, then let's open up a store.
Dope. Okay.
And so we
physical store.
A physical store.
Yeah. Okay.
But we didn't have a lot of money at the time, so we settled for a spot at the local swap meet, which was about a 20 by 20 small spot.
Unit. How'd you come across that?
That was the spot where we would buy our blank T-shirts. We would buy our AAAs, $3 for $10, and
our jeans too.
And our jeans,
Yes,
a pair of jeans for like $15. So that was the spot where you would go buy all the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was where we decided we were gonna.
And it was the only viable spot too that we could open up.
What you guys really didn't have any money, you said. So
yeah.
Where else could you really go?
Yeah, I think they charged us $500 to open up, or for the first month's rent, and that was it. That was the only barrier.
Did you guys ask mom, or how'd you guys gather it up?
So, one of the ways I got started was I got in a car accident.
Oh shit.
So
luck. Pretty much.
It was pretty much luck. I got $3,000.
So you got some paper, okay?
Yeah,
lucky.
Yeah. And so,
what an investment.
Yeah.
Literally.
But one of the other crazy things was, so these clothing. We wanted to open up a store, but it's like a catch-22. These people won't sell you merchandise if you don't have a store.
Especially not at a swap meet, huh?
Exactly. But before you open up the store, you need clothing.
True. Or else what are you going to sell?
Oh, so what are you going to sell? So you want to tell that story?
So I would say, I would say right there that was a catch-22, and so we looked at the options that we had available to us. So first things first, Karma Loop had a sister website called Plunder, and Plunder, for anyone who doesn't know about them, they were an online web store that sold discounted streetwear T-shirts from like $10 to $15. And at that time, streetwear T-shirts were going for like what, $28 to $32.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we could find a website that was selling T-shirts to the public for $10 to $15,
they would have
even
$4 T-shirts, $6
Yeah.
T-shirts. Right? They was like have the super sale.
Super sales, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
And so what we took upon that was, for all the companies and clothing brands that we contacted to buy wholesale from, they were trying to wholesale the T-shirts to us for $15 per, and they wouldn't sell to us unless we had a store. We didn't have a store, so we decided to purchase all the T-shirts from Plunder.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So that's how we stocked this store. We bought T-shirts from this discounted site, and we bought this Plunder would sell discounted Crooks and Castles T-shirts.
Get that.
Sell discounted Diamond T-shirts. And for the people who are watching, Diamond was very popular in 2010.
Killing
They
it.
still are.
I
still
still
are,
are,
but at the
but not so
time
much.
they were-
They
No, they're
killing-
still killing it.
They are,
Yeah,
yeah.
I follow them. They're
still
killing it.
killing it.
Yeah, they're killing it.
Yeah,
But
he's
dude,
killing it. Yeah,
especially
yeah.
from coming from the like mall world and all that, dude. At 2010, 11, 12.
Wait,
it
so you're
was-
saying Diamond is still killing it?
Yeah,
it does good.
He's killing it. He's killing it.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. The Nicky Diamond is killing it.
Yeah.
But like, dude, Diamond at that point, you put that shit on the mannequin.
Yeah.
Whoo, gone.
Yeah.
Now it kind of sits a little bit.
Got
you
it,
know?
got it.
But
So Plunder was our way into buying these brands at
a
really cheap prices.
good idea.
And we bought merchandise that allowed us to stock the store, right?
yeah. And because we purchased these bigger brands, we then were able to get other brands because we were stocking
These
these
big
popular
brands, yeah.
brands that we purchased from a
made
wholesale
yourself seem
site.
bigger than what
Yeah,
you
oh,
really
for
are.
sure.
Yeah,
you
for sure.
flex some guns.
Oh yeah,
huh?
for sure. We got
Here's
Crooks
the
and
thing,
Castles now.
here's the thing.
We got Diamond now.
No, here's the thing. When you have a small storefront, the trick to make it look bigger is when you take a picture of your store, never connect two walls.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you take a picture, only capture one wall, and
a little section.
no one
of
will
it.
ever know
Yeah.
how big your store
Yeah,
is.
I've
So
thought-
our
yeah,
store
that's funny.
online was perceived to be much
Mega store,
bigger.
huh?
Well, we never told them we were only like 20 by 20
Yeah.
square feet, but our store online looked much bigger because of that. And so just do a little photo
Is
manipulation.
did you learn that through the like searching the web, or how'd you figure that out? Just kind of just knowledge.
It was just more. I think it was just more like just
Ego, like
It was ego. It's
Yeah.
like we can't let these people know that we
No.
have a small shop.
Yeah.
You know, and how do we make it seem bigger? Don't connect two walls in the photo.
Yeah, it's simple.
that's a gem.
That's literally that's a gem right there. Yeah, write that one down.
For anyone trying to open up a store in the closet.
There you go, right there. What was I about to say to you? So then, so the swap meet customer is kind of like a cheaper, lower end customer. So did you guys mark them up at double? How'd you guys stay alive, pretty much?
Good question. So when we first opened up, we had a good response. We were selling T-shirts. Keep in mind, we were getting all of our wholesale T-shirts for $10 to $15. Like you had said, it's a swap meet demographic. Well, the demographic that the swap meet was
lower
in
income,
was
right?
kind of lower
Yeah.
income, and so I would say our customers were disappointed when they saw a price tag of $25. Like that was just a big turnoff
Let
for
alone
them.
$30, huh?
Oh, no way, no
Yeah.
way, no. We didn't sell a T-shirt for 30.
Yeah, no way.
But they were pretty vocal with us when they saw T-shirts for 25. Like we were ripping them off.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Because we were in the swap meet, so you can go to the store next to us, the booth next to us,
Yeah.
and buy $15 T-shirts.
Were they like plain stuff, or just like
they
kinda
were more like
Like
that
the
basic
urban.
tattoo.
tattoo style
Oh, yeah,
T-shirts.
Yeah,
But for Pomona and that demographic,
it worked.
It worked.
Yeah,
It worked.
Yeah.
So we opened up our shop in October 1st, 2010. It was good up until it was good, and on Black Friday that happened to be our best selling day.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say after Black Friday, it was kind of like a steady decline. And the problem that we faced with that clothing store was there wasn't enough profit margin in the T-shirt, let alone there wasn't enough foot traffic to really
Sell stuff. You
Sell
sell units,
stuff.
Yeah.
So over time, over the next few months, what started taking place was we started running out of merchandise, and we didn't have enough capital to invest into more T-shirts.
So that's when you're stuck right there.
And so then those good loyal customers that are all coming back, then they start asking, where's the new Where's the new merchandise?
Yeah,
we want
we've seen
new
this
stuff.
stuff already.
We've seen this stuff. This stuff's getting dusty.
Yeah,
twins.
it used to be embarrassing when people would come in multiple times and see the same stuff, and like nothing's changed month in and month out.
Just same stuff.
Same stuff.
How was it the first month? Were you guys stoked about it? Did you guys like tell all your friends, kind of like throw a little party or anything like that?
Oh, I thought this is gonna be such a killing.
Yeah, you thought it was a
I thought
golden
it was
idea.
But we didn't have high standards, because my only other job was Burger King. So, I think at that time I was making $8 an hour. And so when we sold a T-shirt, we were millionaires. If we sold 2 T-shirts in a day, we were multi-millionaires.
Oh yeah.
So
for
we
sure.
didn't. So looking back, we thought we were making a killing. We thought we were doing good, but we were just happy to sell a product.
So you guys say it was slowing down. Things weren't working out for you guys. When did you realize, like, shit, we gotta do something else or like step it up or whatever?
So when we realized that this isn't working, I think there was about a month or two where we kind of didn't know what we wanted to do next. We had put all of our eggs in one basket and thought this was going to be the world's greatest idea. And after 5 months of kind of putting your heart and soul into it and realizing this is not going to work,
Like,
you don't get. I feel like there was about a month where the light bulb didn't click. It was like, well, what do we do?
Yeah, stuck.
And that's kind of when we felt like, I think we felt it was better to close down the shop. But that's kind of when our moment hit. We had a customer come into our shop and say, "Hey, twins, my cousin just passed. I need 50 T-shirts made. Can you put my cousin's face on the T-shirt?" And at the time where we were selling maybe a T-shirt a day, 2 T-shirts a day, this guy comes in and says, "Hey, can you make me 50 custom T-shirts?"
Were you even selling that in a month?
We weren't even selling that in a
Dude,
month.
so
For
that-
sure
what
not.
a-
For sure.
what a-
Maybe the first month.
Maybe
Maybe the first month.
Maybe Black Friday we did pretty good.
Yeah.
But then after that.
But then,
But when he came to you guys, it wasn't what it was.
No, for
Yeah.
sure.
So what a blessing, right? 50 tees
Oh, yeah.
one day.
Yeah, and so so someone comes in and says, "Can you make custom T-shirts?" We used to get that question asked
Yeah.
a lot, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we would turn them down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we don't make custom T-shirts. We
Yeah.
don't make custom T-shirts.
And that's kind of when you said the light bulb wasn't there. When we were thinking of what to do next, that was a thought in our head. We always have customers come in and ask for custom T-shirts. Is there a possibility there? But I think that moment was seized when you got
So
the
he
50
comes in and says,
custom
"Hey,
T-shirt order.
can you make 50 T-shirts?" And that was oh my goodness, we can make rent this month. Heck yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And so
You guys are rich, right?
yeah,
there.
yeah. So we said yes, we can make the 50 T-shirts, but we didn't have the machines. We didn't know how to make T-shirts, but we still said yeah.
So,
we
how long did you guys give him? Like a week, 2 weeks?
probably like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And so we took a deposit, bought our first machine with it off Craigslist.
You're like, fuck it. Let's do it.
Made his T-shirts in one night, right?
Yeah.
It was one day, one night.
Hustled all
and
night,
made
huh?
more money in that night than we had all month at the shop. And I remember
Yeah.
I remember
that was
making
pretty
those.
Great.
Yeah, I remember making those T-shirts and being like, "This is it." If we can make 50 T-shirts in one night, the only difference between us booming and not booming is getting customers, and getting customers for us shouldn't be a problem based off our personality.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But I would also say too. So we made that money. We were mad impressed at our capabilities to make a few $100s. But for the next for the next month, we were still running the T-shirt shop. At the same time, we had this new screen printing equipment, and then the goal became to tell more people about this custom screen printing that we do.
So that's where the money's at. You saw the money, so let's get it, pretty much.
Yeah, so we went from working at the shop 7 days a week, and then we decided, yeah, let's go in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Makes sense. Busy days.
Yeah, busy days, and let's print Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But we were just making so much more money printing.
It's not so much more money, but
the
it's
time,
just,
it just
yeah.
felt
I
like
want to
it,
make
yeah.
sure things are in perspective.
Yeah,
When we use these
exactly.
words, they're not grand.
Loosely, the loosely.
Yeah, loose. Yeah.
Okay, and just to even put it for the viewers, we go from making $20 a day.
Between
20
Devin and I, who
Yeah.
are sitting in the shop all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, 8 hours a day, making $20 a day, $30 a day, to making $200 in one night
Perfect.
with
Let's-
minimal effort,
Yeah.
and
You don't have to sit somewhere too for fucking 10 hours a day. Like
The
that's
worst part about that shop was we had no
no
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we had no internet.
seriously.
Yeah. Sorry, we had no internet.
Yeah.
And our best friend, well, he became our best friend because he would come into the store and he would turn on the internet on his phone.
It's a little hotspot.
A little
It was when it
hotspot.
first started coming out because the iPhones didn't have hotspot. He had like the new Galaxy, and so he became our friend.
Yeah.
We would text
dude,
him,
come in.
where you at? Where
Come
you at?
in.
Just come
Did
in.
he work there or
No.
You
He
just
come in and
yeah.
kick it?
A lot of people would come and hang out, but and so I would say a month after we did our first screen printing order, we're going to college, trying to work on these three separate skills, I guess. Going to school, learning the craft over there.
So you ended up going to school?
We went
Just-
to the local community college, Mount Sac, just to kind of touch up on some classes that we thought would better ourselves.
So not actually school, but just like, what do you want to call it? Like,
I would say touch-up courses.
Yeah.
So like Adrian earlier you mentioned that we didn't plan to pursue college, and that's true. We didn't plan to pursue college, but we noticed that when we were emailing customers that our grammar was very poor. We had trouble putting together well thought out sentences. So the idea behind going to community college was, hey, let's take an English class so we can sound more professional. Let's take a sewing class.
That's good.
So
Sharpen
we can,
the tools.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
take
100%.
yeah. Let's take a sewing class so we can learn how to make T-shirts. I took some real estate classes to
Some
get
graphic design classes.
graphic
No
design.
math or English or nothing like that.
Just
just English?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
said that.
yeah.
Yeah. I meant like, you know, like
Yeah,
language
No
arts.
science, no history,
no
no
math,
math. Yeah.
None of that stuff.
no second language
Yeah.
classes.
Dude, I took a Photoshop too at a community college, but I kind of was half-assing it. It was like at 7:30 in the morning. Just really didn't do shit. But shout out to my boy Adryan right here.
Yeah,
Learned a few steps and not killing it, but killing it for what I needed it for.
You woke up at 7:30 to take that class?
Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah?
Dude.
that ours was like at 8 a.m.
It was?
Yeah.
So-
I remember after taking my first morning class, I said no more.
No more
You know,
morning classes.
no more morning classes.
So like I have to get up at like 6 something, drive to the community college, and then I was like, you know what, fuck this, I ain't doing this.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
that's when I ended up going to Cal Baptist, and college dropout is from that.
Yeah.
So let's trickle back into your screen printing now business. So you close the shop. What's next now?
So we closed the shop and we started screen printing full time in our garage.
How are you getting customers?
So how we would get customers is we would go on Yelp and we would type in, for example, plumbing companies. And what Yelp does is they'll give you a list of 300, 400, 500 different plumbing companies within the area.
They're always printing shirts, right?
Yeah, we simply pick up the phone and ask, hey.
Cold
does
call for
cold-
dollars.
Literally
Yeah,
right
cold
there.
call for, and all you have to do is ask, hey, does your company need custom T-shirts? And surprisingly, not even surprisingly, it was just like out of every 5 calls we would make, there'd be 3 that are interested. And you'd get the information down and simply follow up and just seal deals that way.
Seal deals.
And one of our biggest orders at the time was through a company called HD Supply. We pick up a phone and we say, hey, does your company need custom T-shirts? And they said, oh, yeah, we may be interested. Let me pass you over to our marketing coordinator up north.
Okay.
So they transfer us to the marketing coordinator up north, and they say, oh, yeah, we need T-shirts. Can you please give us a quote for 3,000?
3,000. So this is a big store.
A big store
company.
with over 500 locations.
Oh shit! You guys hit the jackpot. 3,000 one order.
Yeah, but what happened was they didn't give us that order. We lost the bid.
Oh shit! How? What happened then?
I don't know. I
It
don't.
just fell through timing
just-
or something.
I don't
That
know.
happens.
Maybe
Yeah.
it just happened. But we followed up. We said thank you for providing us the opportunity. We're eager to earn your business. Please let us know what we can do. And a week later, she came back with another 3,000 piece order, and boom, we sealed that
Sorry.
one.
So there's
And
literally.
yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. All right. So there's literally no excuses to go get money or do whatever you want.
That's
to do.
what we tell all of our friends.
No
yeah.
excuses.
Yeah.
No
Like,
excuses,
You literally
yeah.
just use the internet. It's free and make some calls.
Yeah.
Or do whatever you need to do to get your shit going.
I always say cold calling is one of the toughest things to do,
You just
but
get a bunch
it
of
has.
no's.
Yeah, you get a bunch of no's. Are you saying the right thing? Should I be saying something different? But I respect anyone who cold calls for. I would say I respect any entrepreneur. You're trying to get new customers. If you could cold call and pick up a phone, I salute you, because that's not
Literally.
an easy thing to do. But it's something that we did to get started, and it paid off for us through customers like HD Supply.
It gets discouraging a little bit because you're just
It
like,
does,
no,
yeah.
hang up, no.
It's a
hang
certain
up,
level.
no.
I think it's a certain level of confidence.
You
You have to be
literally-
willing to take the no's.
Because everything is a no.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you get that one yes, and it's like, all right, cool, it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure. And so cold calling at those early stages was one way, and I know for sure cold calling got us 2 of our biggest customers back then. That HD Supply. Then we also had another trucking company that ordered several hundred T-shirts from us at a time. And at that time, that's big quantities for us.
Huge.
Yeah, for sure.
So now you guys are printing in the garage. You guys get the orders. Did you fulfill them quickly, or how was that 3,000 piece order between 2 of you guys, right? Just you 2?
So the problem with our first order was that we had bought this small machine off Craigslist that was maybe $500 off Craigslist.
Explain to what to those avid screen printers listening. We probably got some screen printers listening.
Maybe,
Dev.
yeah.
Talk that talk.
Okay, so what we bought was a 4-color, 1-station. It's called a tabletop screen printing machine. You can get a white table, or a table like this that we're sitting on here, and plop a machine on and start making T-shirts.
Easy.
And it's a 4-color. So
How'd you dry the T-shirts?
We dry the T-shirts using a flash dryer. So we
explain that for the listeners and viewers.
Basically, for a real screen printing operation, you need a conveyor belt, you need a screen printing machine, you need a flash dryer. You need a light machine to make your screens.
So just
you need a bunch.
Right there.
Yeah, you need a bunch of equipment. But the equipment that we had getting started was just a flash dryer and a 4-color 1-station. So every time,
what that means to the average user is we had booty equipment, like very small, basic, slow printing, just like the basics.
So that first order that we got, that big bulk order, took us 5 days. 14-hour days.
So you guys putting in hours.
Yeah, for morning to night. And just to give you an example, what that took 5 days, 14 hours a day would maybe take us 3 hours now. Yeah.
Easy, huh? It's
Easy.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's tight though. You saw the straight up struggle of that.
So so after going through that week and realizing, dude, there's no way it has to be this difficult, we took that money we made off that first order and bought new machines and bought all new equipment.
What did we buy?
We bought a 6-color 6. Yeah, I got it. We bought a 6-color 6-station. We bought a new improved flash machine. We bought a new conveyor belt, and we bought a light machine,
exposure unit. And all that good stuff.
So squeegees, screens, and we basically
everything. So we invested back into the business.
Yeah, we took that big payday and we didn't pay ourselves. We just bought new machines
instead of like showboating, like throwing hundreds.
We could have bought some chains,
yeah,
some rims, but at that same time that and so in our first year of screen printing as a business,
in our garage
still, we would get customers by cold calling. But then at the same time, my brother Devyn, he had experience building websites because in order for us to create our online superstore that we originally planned, my brother was making websites every few months to make that experience good. And so prior to the screen printing business, my brother Devyn got good at SEO. SEO.
Search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization is how you become popular on Google. And so my brother, he started learning SEO, the importance of a good website, how to create a good website, so on and so forth on that front end. And so I want to say, beside the cold calling, in our first year, we actually started getting customers by people through the internet, by people typing in custom T-shirts.
It used to be funny because so they would find us online. They would go on Google, type in custom T-shirts. Our business would pop up. They would call. We would say, "Oh yeah, let me
transfer you."
We would pretend we were in an office.
Yeah. Oh, sounds professional.
Yeah. So say if I was driving, "Oh yeah, let me call you when I get back to the office." And it was funny because in the beginning stages, customers would come to our house thinking they were going to a business, and we would get calls. I believe I'm at a house. Oh yeah, one moment. Let me open up my garage for you.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah.
So now, did you guys ever create a brand or anything? Think about creating a brand at the time?
You want to take that?
So at that time, within the first year or two of our screen printing journey, what were we going by? Closet collection screen printing.
Yeah. And we also started up a clothing brand. I think that was the question you were alluding to. Yeah. So while we started a clothing brand while we still had our shop at the swap meet.
Okay. So it's kind of back a little bit.
Going back a little bit.
Okay.
So alongside selling the crooks and castles and the diamond,
you guys just added that in.
We added our clothing line in.
Make some better margins, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the time when we started our clothing brand, we got our merchandise made through another screen printer.
Oh, so it wasn't even your own shit.
It wasn't even, we didn't, when we first started our brand, we weren't making it.
Okay,
But then when we bought our own machines, we continued to pursue our brand, and also
Screen printing.
Screen print it,
And then eventually that just screen printing life took over.
Yeah, so there was like an ultimatum, I remember, maybe a year in. It was like, we're spending the majority of our time on our clothing brand, but we're making the majority of our money on the screen printing.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
And it didn't.
I would say the clothing brand was more of our passion too at the time.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we thought that we would love if our clothing brand was able to take off, but the reality was our screen printing was where the money was at. And so I remember there was an ultimatum. It was like, dude, Adryan, let's just screw our brand. Let's continue to pursue our screen printing business, and if we ever decide that the passion still exists,
Come back.
We can come back once we have a lot more money.
It kind of seems like your passion is there, but like without actually owning the brand, because you guys pretty much are taking care of the brand, printing the brand, touching it all, without actually owning the brand and like having to do the sales.
I say now we have thousands of brands.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you guys are still printing in your garage a year in. Business is obviously growing.
Yep.
When do you guys take the next step into like, okay, it's time to get out of the garage. Let's take it into an office or warehouse or whatever.
So about a year and a half in, we knew it was about time to start moving to our first warehouse. And how we knew that was, one, we didn't have enough spots to keep all the boxes. So I remember packing orders in our kitchen, in our living room. Not enough space to keep boxes inside of the garage anymore. Every day we were taking boxes from inside our garage to the front lawn.
That's the worst.
Actually, it got so busy. Actually, thinking about it, it got so busy at a certain point of time in our business that we had this city. All of a sudden, we were printing one afternoon, and the city rolls up and starts taking pictures of our garage.
It's illegal, right? Technically,
it's illegal to
run a business.
And at that time, we had so many boxes outside, so it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And so they gave us 3 months to move out of our garage. But at that same time, we was jamming, and they wouldn't have came to our garage if we weren't jamming.
Yeah.
So those two things aligned up.
Perfect.
Perfect
and
timing,
probably the neighbors too. The neighbors are like probably sick of seeing.
Man, we thought they were supportive.
Sick of seeing boxes.
Yeah.
Like you can only support it for so long. You're like, bro, move the goddamn boxes.
I would say some of the thought it was fun and sweet. Kids starting up the business, it was all fun and sweet. But then when we started buying the machines, getting all these boxes.
No, because there was a lot of paint dripping into the street too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because we would have to clean screens on our backyard, and all of that ink, all of that emulsion, it has to flow somewhere. And there was like a rainbow in the middle of our driveway.
Dude, Jim coming home from work was like, dude, I'm tired of seeing these boxes in the front yard of my like neighbor's house. Like, move them. He probably called or whatever.
Yeah.
Jim just a made up person.
So then the city comes, takes some pictures, but at the time we knew we had to move.
Yeah.
So within 30 to 60 days, we were in our first building. It was 2,200 square feet, 3 office rooms, and the back was all warehouse space.
Yeah.
We moved our equipment in, and one of the first things that we did is we bought an automatic screen printing machine.
See, that'll help out with the work.
Absolutely.
Like 1,000 times, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, what was so cool when we moved into our first warehouse was that we were able to.
Well, tell them what. Well, okay, yeah. No, I was gonna say, because you say what was so cool about moving into the first warehouse, but I would first say there was a lot of uncool things about moving into a first warehouse.
Explain.
So I would assume that maybe people who are listening to this have some dreams of starting up a business. I would say one of the more difficult things that we learned when we first transitioned from our garage to our first screen printing business is that someone has to pay the electrical bill.
Yeah, mom's not taking care of that.
Yeah, mom's not taking care of that.
Yeah.
And when I remember our first electrical bill came in, and that was shocking. And then we have to pay.
How much was it, you think? 1,200, 1,300.
I know that was after the first few months, because that's when we got the
everything
automatic.
you guys run on is electricity.
Yeah.
Like, that electric bill ain't no joke.
And so I would say going from our garage to the first warehouse was a big learning curve for us. We had to learn what our costs are as a business. You know, when you're running production in your mom's garage, your mom's paying for the internet bill. Your mom's paying for the electricity.
It's all nice and dandy, huh?
Someone's got to start paying for insurance, so on and so forth. So that was all a learning process.
So to add on to Adrian, you go from not having to pay any rent in your mom's garage to instantly you got rent, electric bill, and maybe insurance, and so you go from paying nothing to paying maybe $4,000, $5,000.
So it's daunting on you physically and mentally.
It's like
that's the most stressful part.
That was the most stressful.
Always is
bills. Paying shit.
It's the first of the month.
Yeah. So I was like, why does the first of the month come up so damn
quick, huh, dude? That's how it is. So you guys take that on, you move in. Do you guys upgrade some equipment? What did you said you bought
I bought an automatic screen printing machine, and that kind of became the staple of our business.
Do you hire employees?
So we didn't hire an employee for what? It was about 6 months into our first warehouse.
So you guys are physically balls deep in that shit.
Yeah.
We were physically doing the sales. We were physically doing the printing, physically picking up the T-shirts, ordering the supplies.
Hell yeah.
Collecting the funds from the customer.
Cleaning the screens.
Yeah, that stuff's a bitch, man.
Yeah.
To clean the screens, like that's a tough job.
Yeah, for sure.
So okay, you guys upgrade all that stuff. 6 months in, you hire your first employee.
Yep.
Is business growing for you guys? Or
Yeah,
is
for
it,
sure.
Yeah.
So business is growing, but also there's a lot of I would say just to be realistic, there's also a lot of trials and tribulations associated with moving into a first warehouse because you go from doing everything to realizing that there's not enough time to do everything. Yeah. So where it was no problem to do your own sales, clean your own screens, and do all of this stuff, you come to a point where now you have these customers who are placing these orders with you, and in order to get everything done, you can't do everything.
Literally, yeah.
Literally.
That's when we couldn't do everything. That's when we were forced to hire our first. That's when we were forced to hire our first employee. So our first employee rolls around, and becomes our main printer. And we learned that's
one job. Pass it on.
Yep, exactly. And over the next 5 years up until today, it's all about what skills and what jobs can we pass down so we can continue honing in on being efficient, and honing in on what we want to do.
That's dope.
But yeah, so at that time, we've hired our first screen print operator. I would say in our industry, in the screen printing and merchandise industry, as long as you treat your customers well, it tends to be an ever-growing business because people always reorder merchandise.
Especially with the guys you guys are dealing with. Are you dealing with brands now or just like construction dudes and stuff?
Brands, construction companies,
businesses,
pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And what I like so much about working with our customers is that not only are you growing as a business, but the people you are working with are also growing.
Yeah.
So as your customers grow, naturally your business grows.
True.
Because, so it's a beautiful recipe.
Yeah. And then people aren't really leaving screen printers anyways. They're like they're gonna stick with you guys.
Yeah.
As long as you guys do good shit, they're gonna stick along.
Yeah. And that's kind of the name of the game with our business. So ever since our inception, we've been growing year after year, and we hope and we cross our fingers that we can continue to maintain that. But the number one thing is getting the customers and making them happier
and keeping them.
Yeah, and
that's important.
And then as you get more customers, you're forced to get more equipment. And when you get more equipment, you need more customers to fuel that equipment.
More employees to be on it.
So on and so forth. And that's kind of how our business grows. Year one, we have one automatic, one employee. Mm-hmm. Maybe by the end of that first year, we hired a graphic designer and we hire a receptionist to help pick up some phone calls.
Go ahead. No,
Year two, we need an additional employee to help count T-shirts. We get an additional employee to help clean screens.
There's a staff now.
And things slowly start to become a staff. You know, you go from two brothers doing everything, and it's like almost like a tree with its roots just
planted out, huh? That's actually what I'm asking you. So how do you think, both of you guys, think that changed you from that, like, personally, that 2-person team to now that 20-person team? Because now it's time to boss up, pretty much, right?
Well, one thing that we realized is that at first, before we first hired our first employee, we always looked at employees as a cost. Like, man, it's not worth it to pay $2,000, or it's not worth it to pay an employee when I could just.
Well, at that time, it's not worth it to pay someone $10 an hour.
Yeah, especially when the work isn't equivalent to the Like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have the work coming in, then you don't really need it.
But we were so used to not make, especially at the shop, we were so used to not making money or making $20 a day, $30 a day. That anything we could keep
was just
we wanted to.
We wanted
exactly,
it.
Yeah.
So,
but in hindsight, that was the wrong way. It's a wrong way to think.
yeah.
To grow, especially.
Yeah.
Right?
To
It's a
grow,
wrong
yeah.
way,
And so one of the things that I think we learn, especially today, is that employees are not a cost or an investment.
Literally.
And we learned that we make way more money when we hire people to take on the things that the company requires. And so how we go from being a 2-man shop to a 20-man shop, it's
What are you even at now? More than 20? Can we?
we're about 20,
It's,
22.
yeah, depending upon a
Was it
few
day?
things,
Oh,
20,
okay.
25, 20 to 25.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
you're good.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
so I think nowadays we don't. It's easier to continue to grow our company because every time we hire for a new position or we bring on a new department, it's a no-brainer. Hey, let's put 2 people there to run that department, and we'll bring in the sales to get that department going.
To just keep funding the
Yeah,
thing. pretty
exactly.
much, right.
Exactly.
Okay, so then now you guys are killing it in the warehouse, new warehouse, right?
Yep.
How many years did you guys last there?
So we lasted 3 years in our first warehouse, and now we moved into our second warehouse.
When did you realize it was time to get out of the first warehouse?
You want to answer that?
Because I used to go there. I've seen it when it was like kind of like, you know, like normal facility kind of pumping. Then towards the end, it was like, shit, dude, box, same concept.
Yeah.
Boxes outside.
Yeah.
Like,
By the way, Will has been a longtime customer of ours. So when he says he's seen
the
warehouse and how busy it was, it's because he was physically there
hustling.
placing T-shirt orders with us and seen us putting in work. So
Seen the
he
work,
he
yeah.
saw how busy it
But
got.
how we knew we were ready to move in our second warehouse is I remember every 45 minutes, every 30 to 45 minutes of the beginning of the day, we would spend taking boxes out from inside of the warehouse to outside of the
Make
warehouse
room.
just to make room.
Yeah.
And we would take 30 to 45 minutes at the end of the day to bring them back in.
That's
This
a
would
good
be a
hour
good-
to hour 30.
This would be a good time to post that picture on Instagram. There was a picture on Instagram we posted where we had like
200,
whatever. We had
yeah.
like to me, I want to say 50 plus boxes outside, and our caption on Instagram was, "Man, these days makes you wish you had a bigger warehouse." And when we posted that, we had a company meeting.
Time to grow.
Time to grow, time
Yeah.
to get a new
Yes,
warehouse. But it's not something you necessarily want, because I always say bigger warehouses means more bills and more rent and increased costs. And
That's true,
You
too.
always want to keep your costs low.
Yeah. But it also brings in the big brands
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because
Yeah. True.
you know,
correct,
like
yes.
you bring in you have the smaller warehouse, you can't really pump a bunch. Then you go into something bigger. That's with anything. You move up, you know.
Yeah.
I got a good
True, that was
story.
Bigger
great.
sharks.
What-
Yeah,
yeah,
bigger
I gotta-
sharks.
Yeah. Yes.
So
very
in our
true.
first warehouse, it was 2,200 square feet, and we could only fit one automatic machine. And there, at the end of that 3 years, when we were in that warehouse for 3 years,
Yeah.
we started to miss deadlines. We were late on orders, and I remember we had a Post Malone. You know who Post
Yeah,
Malone
yeah,
is?
yeah.
We were doing his tour merchandise.
That was when he was small too.
Small, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the transition from us moving into our new warehouse where we lost him because we had missed a deadline for one of, I think it was like a show or something like that, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was like,
damn, that'd have been dope.
screw this,
Yeah.
let's get the warehouse, let's get some more machines.
Time to stop losing money.
yeah.
Because you're trying to save money, quote unquote,
Yeah.
save
Yeah.
money, but you're losing money. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not doing nothing beneficial.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you guys, boom, warehouse number 2, or do you want to call it warehouse 3, or what is this?
We'll say garage 1,
Okay.
warehouse 2. This would be warehouse 3.
3,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, facility
yeah.
3.
Facility 3, yeah. So now you guys move into this. What was it like the first month, first week, first like beginning of it?
Man, we have pictures up
Is it
on the
scary?
wall. We have pictures up on the wall. Hopefully, maybe you could show them.
Yeah, I might
like,
be able to put some up. Yeah.
Drop them in there. But I would say it was nerve-wracking because we don't come from a super rich background, and so all of the money we had from coming into this warehouse number 3, that's what we saved from warehouse number 2. And so we didn't have an infinite budget to play with. And so I remember the first few months, the budget got really tight. Budget got really close to being out of funds.
I remember because expenses just kept coming
Yeah.
up.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had to do the electric work,
Just this room that we're in, we had to break down the wall,
Paint it.
paint it, new floors,
Yeah.
the electrician to wire up this entire facility,
bought a new
security cameras
Yeah.
to make sure we have eyes everywhere in
Everywhere.
every corner.
Because now you don't just come into this place like ready to go.
No,
Like,
heck no.
Especially with you guys using all the electricity and like plugs everywhere.
Yeah.
You guys need
Yeah.
someone to come in,
Plan
add
it.
some stuff,
Yeah.
plant
Yeah.
it, all that.
And so when we moved into our this warehouse, which is now when we moved into this warehouse, we also had committed to buying a second automatic machine. So
Growing.
yeah, so we bought a second automatic machine, and
At the same time, we bought a second embroidery machine, and the first 3 months of moving into this warehouse was kind of scary because anytime you get a huge increase in cost, you have to be in the back of your mind. You know you have to be able to sustain that for the next 3 years. This surge in cost, and so
Literally.
that was scary. As can we do this? Can we get enough customers to cover these
Like,
costs?
fuck, can we? We are.
Hey, we're still here,
Yeah.
and we got more machines.
We are doing it.
yeah,
So after that, does your business necessarily grow instantly, or does it like a slow like kind of grow?
I would say it's still slow. It's
No,
still,
not the time. At the beginning process of it.
at the beginning of moving into this
Yeah,
warehouse.
yeah.
I would
'Cause
say
you know how you think like I'm moving to that new place, boom, business is growing instantly.
no, I would say it doesn't. Nothing changes because
nothing
changes because it's literally a difference of 2 weeks from your old warehouse to your new warehouse. But with the new warehouse, you have more space to work with. So naturally, as a company, we became more organized. Pretty quickly, we got more equipment, which means we could do things faster. Naturally, this excites our customers. Holy crap, twins! You just giving me my order back in 3 days? Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
And
Yeah,
so,
I remember that.
so with this new warehouse, it's just about serving our customers better. We served our customers better, and
Did you feel?
it
Do you
keeps
feel
us
like
busy.
Yeah, sorry. Do you feel like you guys are more of like a quote unquote company in this warehouse?
Definitely, yeah, it definitely feels
not when we first moved in,
But
but now,
now?
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so then you guys growing in here.
When we first came into this warehouse,
Yeah.
we didn't even have an office telephone number.
I was just
We're like 5 years deep when we moved into this last facility that we're in now.
Yeah.
We didn't even have an office phone. We were working off of our cell phones.
that's what it is.
And to us, for me, it shows you don't need all of the tools in the world to have a business.
Yeah.
You just need
The
to.
quote unquote bullshit and all that extra stuff. Like you just need your cell phone, a computer, like,
And a
you know,
website.
And a website, yeah.
Especially in this game,
Yeah,
the
for sure.
clothing, online is super heavy. So then when you guys start growing, when is it like? Do you guys get some big sharks? Big sharks, as in like these giant companies, right? Coming in, because now you got now you got
Yeah,
the big
I was gonna like, but I was like, it's a shark.
shark. Yeah, wrong animal. So yeah, you guys grow into here. You guys are growing bigger. Obviously, you start working with bigger companies, right? Naturally, because
Absolutely.
What was
Now
our
you're
most no? A lot of people know us for it, but Triple B's.
So we had a big baller brand in here. We had a lot of big.
I would say big. It goes back to your point of we have a bigger warehouse, we can get bigger customers. I would say that totally rang true because we had the opportunity to work with Big Baller Brand as a client, and we only got them as a client because they saw a big warehouse, and they had commented, "Guys, we trust you with our brand because we see that you can handle us."
This place is badass.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if they seen Warehouse One, not dissing on Warehouse One, I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
I love that place. They would have been like, dude, this is too small for us.
Yeah.
We're a
For
big
sure.
brand. Like,
Yeah.
this ain't working out.
Yeah,
for sure.
So then anything else happens, like, going to now, like, you guys functioning more smooth.
So
Operation is like,
we've continued to buy machines. So
I would say
we had one machine, one embroidery machine coming into this warehouse, and one
Yeah.
screen printing machine.
Yeah.
Now we have 3 big automatic screen printing machines. And
Can I say something real quickly?
Go ahead.
You said I would say our business it's like a tree with many different branches, and those branches we could view them as departments. And so from 2 years ago till today, it's more about those branches becoming thicker, the tree stump becoming more deeply rooted in the ground. Our process is just getting more fine-tuned. Our team members have been with us for longer. Our customers are getting bigger, and it just everything just blossoms nicely.
Dang.
And I would say
Feels good, huh?
it's crazy how it happens.
Yeah.
And to me, that's why I remain optimistic when I think, how is business going to be for the next year? Experience and history says our business and how we're operating it grows because of what we do, and as long as we can continue with what we're doing, it'll continue growing.
That's actually what I was gonna
So
ask.
that's kind of what life is here. It's just
Literally.
about fine-tuning the process, fixing problems, trying to implement new things to make us quicker.
and growing. That's actually the next question I was gonna ask was what's next for Garment Decor and all of you guys.
You want to answer that?
What's next for Garment Decor? Garment Decor will continue to invest into new equipment. We just invested into a new direct-to-garment printing machine.
So bigger and better.
Garment Decor will invest into new software that will make us. We just got a new software called Zoho, which will make us interact with our customers better. Garment Decor will invest into more embroidery equipment, and
I got a good one.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
So,
Garment Decor does. What Garment Decor does.
There you go.
Yeah, no, so I think probably by what is it? June 3rd, 2018. I think by June 5th, 2019.
Damn, we're already the 10th actually.
We're the June 10th.
yeah,
This is June
yeah,
10th.
crazy. A week off.
Devin doesn't keep track of time.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Hey, all of his days are one.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but I think by 2019, end of the year 2019, we'll have a new warehouse.
Growing.
So
Both or just like a bigger facility?
we'll be moving.
Okay.
So right
good
now we're at
shit.
6,600 square feet.
10,000?
The goal is gonna be closer to around 20,000 square feet.
20,000.
That's a bit.
Hey, he just dropped. That's it.
He-
It's on audio.
Yeah,
You
we'll see
said
it. We'll see it. We'll see it next year.
You said
Yeah.
it.
That's crazy it's crazy crazy dream, crazy.
crazy.
More stress, more
Literally,
bills,
yeah. Everything
more rent,
doubles. Everything doubles.
more rent, more employees
Yeah.
needed.
Crazy. What keeps you guys motivated?
What keeps me motivated?
Dev, you go first.
Okay, what keeps me motivated? I would say, so I feel like maybe I'm a little bit different. So I don't necessarily need motivation. More so So I'm gonna take it back to our gamer days.
I was just gonna say that.
So
yeah.
I remember when we were playing World of Warcraft,
just
putting in
gonna
the
say
mad
that.
hours. It was more about
just building.
it was more about enjoying the grind.
That's
So-
very true because if you don't enjoy it, you miss it.
Yeah, so there's something about about seeing the
The build, huh?
it's something about reaping the results, putting in the work and then seeing it blossom. And I think I enjoy the process. I enjoy seeing how I come in Monday through Friday and seeing my business grow, and that's the motivation. I remember back in the shop days or back in the swap meet where you would put in 10 hours and you wouldn't see your business grow.
Nothing, yeah.
And probably then I needed the motivation.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
nowadays, you put in the work and you see your business grow, and that's all the motivation I need.
Gem with
Yeah,
Dev right
yeah.
there. That's a gem with Dev. We should do like a little 20-second clip. Cut that out. Yeah. How about you, Adrian?
I would say my brother and I, we think a lot alike. So
It's not like he has a twins or
he
nothing.
kind of took that answer from my mouth, but I would say, to me, this is just all I know. Back to my gamer days of just grinding. It's just when you commit to something, it's all about just putting time in.
Feels good too, huh?
It's just World of Warcraft. It's built inside of me.
Do you guys ever still play?
I wish
I
it's my
downloaded-
goal to kind of be in paradise with a laptop playing World of Warcraft, relaxing.
Yeah, just hanging
I
out.
want to go back, but no. My brother always said if we put as much time into a business as we did a World of Warcraft,
You'd be successful. Hey,
so
you guys
Yeah,
are.
for sure.
every time we get back to playing video games, that message.
Feels off, huh?
Yeah, you
it's
can't.
just like
I could never put in the time into a video game now because it's like, man, if I just spent
you're
time,
disrespecting a different craft.
Bro,
Yeah.
even myself, like, I know this isn't about me, it's about you, but even myself, like, if I go on a vacation for 3-4 days, I feel like I need to get back to grinding. Like it just feels off. Like I'm gonna take a trip in 3 months for 3 weeks, and I literally was just telling one of my employees earlier, like, dude, I don't know. The anxiety I have is like, I never have anxiety, but I am freaking out. What am I gonna do?
No more
3
podcasts for you for a little bit.
What am I gonna do for 3? No, I'm gonna have it like pre-recorded stuff too. But like, like, what am I gonna do for 3 weeks? That anxiety is like, fuck, dude. Like, gotta like, it's back to work. If I'm not working or doing something, it just fucking feels off. That's why I'm doing this too now. Like,
I've noticed.
Gotta keep doing something.
Will is a man of many hustles.
Yeah, literally, dude. Like,
it's cool to see him in this podcast.
I trying to do something else. Like, I gotta just keep working and hustling.
Yeah. But
So
I would say to answer that,
my
brother and I, we don't really have an outside source of motivation. It's more just
growing and building.
Let's just go. Yeah.
Dope. What are some of your passions outside of like working?
Well, now for me, it's living a balanced lifestyle. So working out, trying to get fit. So it's a balance. It's a balance of working out and working on the business. And that's kind of where my passion is right now. Having a balanced lifestyle and making sure that both are growing consistently and constantly.
So you've been grinding in the gym?
For sure.
You've been eating good?
Eating good.
I think it's that mid-20s thing too. Cause I'm
let's go.
Trying to eat better, even though I don't really eat better. I'll probably get in and out after this. Trying to grind in the gym, though, that's some
Just get the protein style.
Yeah,
Make yourself feel better.
What about you, Adrian?
I would say right now it's definitely a balance. Well, I would say
you're grinding in the gym as well. I know that.
I would say a long time ago we used to focus 100% on the business. We started to see I wouldn't say beer belly. I would say like work bellies. I feel you. And so I would say as of since in the past year, we've made it a focus that live more of a balanced lifestyle, which is why you hear him say that. But now we focus on fitness after work. And so I would say we work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., go to the gym for a few hours, make a nice healthy meal at the end of it. And other than that, we play soccer twice a week. And that's life for the twins.
So that's pretty much your daily ritual?
Yeah, for sure.
Waking up, working, getting in the gym. There it is.
A good cup of coffee in the morning to get
Do you guys make each other food after the gym, or is it separate?
Nah, I'm more of the chef. I like to cook my own things.
See, Adrian's problem is he cooks food for himself. He doesn't
selfish,
share.
Huh?
Yeah,
damn, and his name, you go by Chef Dev.
Yeah, exactly. So he's missing out. He's just missing out on the real jewels.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are some of you guys' idols that you guys fuck with? People you fuck with, idols, whatever you want to call it.
I would say
athletes, business dudes,
I would say
whatever.
one person I'm extreme that inspires me is LeBron. His off the court personality and how he handles himself. He's a true champion in my heart. The greatest of all time. Yeah, I said it.
And he lost, dude. That's the bummer, huh?
Yeah, I said it.
He got swept.
But what I like about LeBron is because he's professional. Like, not only is he a great basketball player, but how he carries himself. He carries himself as a professional, and
every aspect.
In every aspect, and even when I watch his interviews, or mostly his interviews, I feel like I strive to be that way in a professional environment, to be professional. Yeah. And I remember he complimented it was Richard. What was his? You know his teammate name? Richard
Jefferson?
Is it Richard Jefferson?
Who is it?
I think LeBron James not only complimented Richard Jefferson.
J.R. Smith.
No,
you talking about when the shot?
No. I remember LeBron James. He complimented someone on how professional they were off the court.
Okay.
It's like that's great. I gotta be professional not only when I'm on the court, as in the business, but also off the court. Whether it's going to the movies or getting a cup of coffee, just to maintain professionalism.
You don't want to be seen acting like a jackass.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I feel like that also affects everything else you do.
Yeah, exactly.
It could affect your business. It could ruin business. It could affect your. Whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
You already said that's it. You too, LeBron James.
Yeah, LeBron James.
Who would you say is more of an inspiration, like business wise?
Okay, yeah. Get a business inspiration.
Bedros.
Oh, Bedros.
Who's Bedros?
So Bedros is one of our customers.
Is that his name, Bedros? Or
Bedros,
okay.
yeah. Bedros owns 500 different fit body locations, and
he's a fit guru kind of guy, or
I would say he's the real deal. So
yeah,
he's the real deal.
He's not one of those
fit guru, business, all that stuff.
Okay, because there's a lot of those Instagram,
I hate that bullshit. He's an actual hustler.
This guy's an actual hustler, owns 500 different fit body locations, and he is a motivational speaker, but the way he conducts business, And the message that he preaches on Instagram is very powerful. Basically, what he says is, if you aren't the best at something, hire for it. So if you aren't the best at marketing, don't attempt to market. Hire someone who's the best at marketing.
It's kind of what you guys have been doing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
following that step.
Yeah.
And he kind of cemented that
notion.
Yeah, that notion.
Like, you should do this. You guys kind of had it, but then once you seen someone else, you're like,
Yeah. So he gave
It
us.
just helps staple it.
It helps
yeah,
staple
you're
it.
correct
You should-
by
yeah, you
thinking
are,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we
especially
stepped.
with someone that's super successful.
Yeah. He gave us a tour of his office, and he had 3
Where's this at?
Chino Hills.
Okay.
So we had 3 content writers, 5 website developers, 4 people in marketing, and
Didn't he have one person building out a schedule too?
Yeah, anything he wasn't good at, he hired for it.
Especially when you get
And
to
that's
that
what he
level, you
preaches,
just
yeah.
you just do you, and then everything else is around you.
Yeah.
Everything else grows.
Yeah.
Who's your inspiration?
I fuck with the LeBron James one.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. LeBron's good. Fuck,
Why'd
I
you
don't
start
know.
podcasts?
What?
Which Joe Rogan was? He the reason why you-
Nah, more like the drama.
Okay, got it.
What's the dude's name? Gary V. I like the podcast stuff. I do one with my friend, just talking like hot topics and stuff like that. But like the whole like talking to dudes who like fucking do what they want to do. That's tight. Like everyone else doesn't get to hear shit like that all the time. So doing that is literally. All right, let's get into something else. What are 3 things that you're currently into other than fitness and eating good that you said?
Okay.
Something like Netflix, like something like.
Yeah, so right now, you said like Netflix, but that was gonna be
That
the
was it? Okay.
So I like true crime documentaries on Netflix.
Heavy
So-
into that?
Yeah. So right now, what me and Adrian were just watching a few minutes ago before we came over here to start this it's a documentary called The Staircase.
What's it about?
It's like
true crime?
It's
Oh, you said that.
Yeah,
Okay,
true
yeah.
crime. So this guy, his wife dies at the bottom of a staircase, and I can't give too many details so I don't ruin it for everyone else. But it's a great documentary. It just came out maybe this week, I think. And so that's one thing I'm interested in right now. Another thing I like doing on the side that I don't consider work is graphic design or web design, graphic design.
Yeah, web building.
Yeah.
You kind of always had that in you, right?
I like that. I call that.
that zing. In
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I call that. Yeah, I consider it a passion of mine, and I don't. When I do it, it doesn't feel like work.
It's just chilling.
It's just chilling. Yeah. That
Playing
and
basketball or anything like that? Do you
soccer.
Soccer. Oh,
so
yeah.
soccer 2 times a week.
So
To
there
get
it
the
is,
blood
3 things,
flowing.
huh?
Yep,
Yeah.
3 things right there.
How about you, Adrian?
I would say if this was the winter time, I'd say a passion of mine would be snowboarding because I just got a season pass.
A season pass for where?
I got the Icon Pass, which means I have a season pass anywhere.
All mountains in
All
in
mountains.
Cali. It's SoCal, right?
No, across the country and
Across
some
the country?
and some in Canada.
What
yes,
the
yes.
fuck?
You go
You dropped some cash on that one.
$600.
Oh, it's not bad, actually.
Unlimited.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
so
dope.
you'll see me in Big Bear.
What about Utah or anything like that?
Utah for sure. Yeah, for
parks
sure.
in Utah.
Damn,
sure.
that would be dope. Are you into snowboarding too?
I haven't got the pass. He got the pass with a couple of buddies. I didn't.
That's
get
gonna
the
be a
pass.
hobby in the winter time.
Okay, so that's one. What
One
else?
more. Netflix. My brother and I, we do the same thing.
Same
We're
shit,
mirror
huh?
image twins, so
Crazy.
a lot of our
Do
responses
you know
are
what
gonna be the
mirror image
same.
means?
Yeah, same thing.
But do you know what mirror image means or no?
So
I'm
you,
right-
Once you look in the mirror, it bounces. Oh, because the left and right kind of thing.
So basically, what it means.
I'm right-handed. My brother's left-handed. I'm left-footed. My brother's right-footed.
Yeah, it's literally mirror image. Because
It's
when you look in the
opposite,
mirror, it's
yeah.
opposite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
you could. Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
And there's little things like his hairline goes one way, my
Yours goes the
hairline
opposite?
goes the opposite.
Damn, you guys are handcrafted, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else you're
No,
into?
I would say other than Netflix, other than soccer, other than the fitness thing, other than snowboarding on
you
the
right
winter
there.
time, that's me.
You
Bundled
guys got
up in a
into
nice
paintballing yesterday or the day before?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And before starting this, we're gonna go with you. Will.
Yeah, we're gonna set something
Yeah.
up. I'm gonna have one of my homies come through, record some content for this.
We're gonna have a company outing.
Yeah, it's gonna be some good.
Our paintball squad, and we'll see what Will can
I'll
muster.
bring some of my boys.
Dude,
Let's
that
see.
would be so cool.
No, it's
Yeah.
happening
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Setting it up. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Devin, what are your thoughts?
You got anything else you have on your mind that you want to bring up?
No, I think that was dope.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. That was dope. Really. Anything else? You
That'd
good?
be- I'm good.
Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Plug all the Instagram stuff. I'll have it pop up right here.
Yeah,
too,
have it
but
pop
go-
up
yeah,
like
go.
right. Just pop it up right
Yeah.
here. Follow me on Instagram, Adryan Lado. What's your
Spell that out,
Instagram?
spell that
your
out.
name.
ADRY. Don't forget the Y. ANLADO. That's Adryan Lado. The company is Garment Decor. GARMENT Garment Decor. And Devyn, introduce yourself.
My Instagram is Chef Devyn. That's CHEFDEVYN. Follow me, baby.
Dope.
And I want to say one last
Yeah,
thing.
drop it.
My brother and I, our specialty is merchandise. If there's any people out there that want to start up a clothing brand, we would love to help. We would love to help. Give us a call, 855-942-7636. We like to look. You see the showroom behind us? We have hundreds of different products. We can have you touch, feel. This is college. When you come to Garment Decor, we are educating you
Garment
on how to
Decor
start your own
University.
clothing brand.
Hey, there
Come
it is.
here. Scholar, this education here is free. We got you guys. All of Will's.
What a plug.
What a plug.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
what's cool when you work with us is that we have a showroom full of merchandise, so you can kind of pick out what T-shirt you want, pick out what sweatshirt you want. You can kind of create your perfect brand, and then what we do from there, you send us your logo, we'll print it on your merchandise, we'll embroider it if you like embroidery, and we basically get you started. And we're here to answer any questions if you have it.
There it is,
There it
ladies
is.
and gentlemen.
Come on, the T-shirt
There
twins.
it is.
The dynamic duo, the T-shirt twins, Cul-de-sac crew,
Yeah.
Plaza Collection, Garment Decor.
Decor. Hey, thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it. We're out. Take care.